Hey everyone, Jonny Skywatcher here. Welcome to Jonny Skywatcher Live, the show where I talk about movies, gaming, whatever else I feel like talking about. Um, One second while I just make sure that the stream is actually working, because I've had issues in the past where I start a stream and then I find out my mic's off and nobody's on the stream to tell me so, which I've had to re-record a whole thing just because of that. Anyway, today it's gonna be a little bit shorter. I only have two topics to talk about. I'm gonna be talking about Mandalorian's season 2. We got a first look from Entertainment, and Nintendo just out of the blue announced a new game that's going to be coming out this fall. Okay, so yeah, with that, I don't think I have anything. Well, let me think for a moment. Is there anything else I need to say in my intro? Oh, by the way, also, if you don't know who I am, this is my YouTube channel, Jonny Skywatcher. I like to talk about movies and games and stuff, mostly Nintendo, when it comes to games, and yeah. That's pretty much it. If you find yourself liking this video, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Don't have a lot of subscribers yet, so I'll talk about it at the end of the video. We'll talk about it. If you're still around here at the end of the video, we'll have a little chat. Okay, so I guess with that out of the way, the intro anyway, let's move on to the first topic. See if I can do this successfully. There we go. Okay, so Mandalorian. So Entertainment came out with a first look. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these pictures. It looks really cool. I really liked the first season of Mandalorian, so I'm really looking forward to Mandalorian season 2. And here we have the Mandalorian. What's his name again? I know they mention it somewhere. Jen. And then Baby Yoda, or the child, since it's technically not Yoda. We don't even know if it has a name. Okay, and then I'm not going to read too much of the article. So this is one of the first photos. We see the returning characters. I don't even think I remember what their names. Cardane, I think. Not Dune, Cardoon, right? It's Cardane. I guess that's what I get for not doing my research. If I had someone to do the research for me, it wouldn't be an issue. But I don't really have anyone working under me, so kind of have to go with it. And then Carl Weathers' character as well. So it's interesting to see that they're going to be back, at least in a little bit. I don't know how much they'll be in the season, but because like the way the season 1 ended, you could have easily just not had them in the show at all. So it'll be interesting to see how they tie them in. And here's the cover, and you got a cute picture of Baby Yoda. Mandalorian Strikes Back. And then we have another picture of him on the bike. I don't think we see anything like super revealing. No, like new. I don't think they show any new characters, anything that Carl Weathers. I hate that they don't have any names like near the photo. That's kind of annoying. But there's this one, the bad guy from the end of season 1. So this is the plot element I'm most excited to see play out, especially with the Darksaber. I'm really interested in seeing how that plays out, where they go with it. Here's another one of I think Carano. What's I hate that they don't have any of the names near the pictures. It's just photos. There's a second cover with the Mandalorian. And then here's the quote that I've been seeing a lot of places. A lot of people say is the Dave Filoni was saying, you know, you want the Empire Strikes to be better than A New Hope. Basically, you know, they want this season to be the Empire Strikes Back to the first season. Well, we'll see. I have very high hopes for it. I think they also said somewhere in it about being, I think they referred to it as being 8 episodes. So we can look forward to, I think season 1 was 8 episodes as well. Yeah, Gideon. Gideon, that's the villain. In the new episodes, Gideon demonstrates he's quite adept at wielding the Darksaber. That's interesting. So it's not just something he has, but he actually really knows how to use it. Well, that's going to be interesting. Let's see. Anyway, yeah. So Mandalorian season 2. Are you looking forward to it? What do you think? Feel free to leave a comment below. And I feel like this show is going to go really quickly, but to be honest, I've had some plumbing issues in my apartment, so I don't have a lot to talk about today. But I'm doing this show right now because it's just my goal to try to do this every weekday and try to keep this as an ongoing thing. You know, my hope for the future, if I'm able to keep doing this, would be that, you know, I would have some more audience interaction, and that I'd be able to get, you know, fresh topics from that. But I'm not quite at that level, so we're kind of I'm just relying on myself. I should have switched beforehand. So I guess let's move on to my second topic, and this one I was excited to see. So Nintendo announced a new game out of nowhere. You know, they've been doing this recently. Let me think. They shadow dropped Paper Mario, The Origami King, and Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 Deluxe. They both shadow dropped those, and then also even the Mario 35th anniversary, they kind of just dropped out of nowhere without really announcing it. At least I don't think so. So yeah, today they dropped a trailer for Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. So I have a really bad habit of saying the and like I'm stuttering. It's terrible. So the Hyrule Warriors game, I know that they came out with the first one on the Nintendo Wii U, and that they then had not a true sequel, but basically like a port of the first game on the Nintendo 3DS, which had some extra content, and then they had Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on the Switch, which was basically the first Wii U game, but with the added content from the 3DS. So, I mean, really, there's only been one game, the first Hyrule Warriors game, and then the 3DS had some extra content. So, I know it's based off this company. What is the company called? Let me see if I can. I'm not really familiar with this. KT. But the company that Nintendo partnered with, they make these kind of Dynasty Warrior games, and that's what this is a crossover with. Zelda and their Dynasty Warriors kind of gameplay, which is characterized by one person fighting. I think they phrase it as 1 versus 1,000. You know, going through these huge battlefields as a single player, like third person perspective, and you're just hacking and slashing your way through. I've never gotten a chance to play the first Hyrule Warriors, but it looked somewhat interesting. if, although I have heard that it gets a little repetitive. And so they just announced this. Like when I was watching it, wasn't sure if it was a new game or just DLC. It turns out it's a new game, and it's actually going to tell the story of what happened 100 years before Breath of the Wild, which is interesting. Of course, in Breath of the Wild, we got some of the story of what happened through flashbacks, but you know, that's not everything. There's always more room to put more story in there. We know the basic beats of what happened, and we know how it ends, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But from the trailer, it looks really interesting, because you can have these sort of epic battles that you don't get in the main Legend of Zelda series, but that you can put in something like this. And like even here you see hordes of bokoblins, and oh, that's interesting. Zelda tossing bombs. And then the other thing that'll be neat in this game is compared to the main series, you can play as different characters. So you get to play as at least as all the champions in as Zelda. So I'm really excited to see that. And then on top of that, there is one interesting note of like this artwork. Let me see if I can find, I think there's like maybe there's a wallpaper or something. Not here on this page. But what's interesting on this artwork is this little guy right here. We don't know what this guy's about, though. He looks like some sort of mini guardian. I wonder what this is about, because that's, I think, the only element in this artwork that's like completely new, that we don't really know anything about. So it's interesting that they would have it there. I'm sure there would be other stuff that's new in the game, but it's not, nothing else was included in like the cover artwork. Oh, and it keeps bringing me now. And yeah, I just want to, nope, I don't want to do that. Actually, let's go. I can change this. Actually, let me change back to studio mode. Why is this so small? Just a second. I gotta find the way to do this on ODS. OBS, I should say. Oh, I know how to do it. Okay. I just gotta turn off the filter. Okay, there we go. But yeah, it looks really interesting, especially once you get to the part where they're fighting all these guys, and you can play as the different champions. Especially when they first show that, yeah, you're attacking these armies. And then that's another thing that was interesting, because I know I've seen people, Zelda theory, saying that that's where, that from the pillars, that these red circles is where the Guardians came from, and this trailer, I think, confirms it. I think maybe it was shown in, or somewhat hinted at in the artwork, but you never see this in in the Breath of the Wild. I don't think. I think that's all the trailer. It's a pretty short trailer, but the big thing is that it's coming out in November, which means it's not that far away. November 20th, so it's pretty soon. So I guess maybe this is Nintendo's holiday game, which is interesting. Battle Hordes. So yeah, the thing I think it would be most interesting to see, not just like what story elements get added and sort of fleshed out from this period of time that we do know the basic story beats from, but will be to see what sort of abilities they give the other characters. I mean, in the trailer we see Zelda using what appears to be the Sheikah Slate. She definitely uses stasis, which is cool to see, and then also to see what other abilities are given to the other characters. We see Urbosa using that sort of slow motion reaction like Link does, and then we also see Mipha doing this, the Zora doing this sort of weird water spout thing, which looks pretty cool. Team up and take on Ganon. And then also I thought this is amusing because they don't have a pre-order for the physical release yet, but they do for the digital version. If you pre-order now, you can get the Lucky Ladle in game. So yeah, the last thing I would say that think it's can I even talk in English? Sometimes I have to wonder. The last thing I have to say about that is that I think I have to wonder how they're going to do the end. My main hope is that they don't change anything. I don't think they would. It's still going to end with Ganon attacking and the champions dying, hopefully, which is weird to say. But I think there's ways you could do it. You can still show like the champions battling their main battles, and then I don't know, would they do it in such a way where like you beat the boss, but then in the cutscene right after that it shows them falling down and it goes black, something like that, so they didn't actually win, maybe. Or is it going to be like the gameplay never even gets that far, just all takes place in cutscene? I don't know. I'd be interested to see other way. I kind of would prefer there to be some battle with you fighting as the champions against maybe the Blight or against the Divine Beasts. Like, that's one thing. We know that from the memory, each of the 4 champions goes to their respective beasts, and that we don't know exactly what the timing for the beasts being possessed is, right? So when they arrive at the Divine Beast, are they already possessed, and then maybe they have to fight their way onto it like Link does in Breath of the Wild, or maybe it's not even possessed yet. Maybe they get into it and then it starts getting possessed. I don't know. That would be interesting to see, and that's maybe even something that could be different between the champions. Maybe it doesn't all happen at the exact same time. But yeah, I really like this artwork, and I'm looking forward to this. I wish I had more money so I could buy all these video games. Not really in the position right now that I can be buying lots of video games, though, unfortunately. And yeah, I won't go into too much into that. But yeah, I think that's going to be it today. I know that maybe that was a little bit shorter. I have actually no idea how long I've been going on. I don't think, does YouTube even tell me how long I don't. No, not really. Nope. Doesn't tell me any specifics. That's okay. If you watched this all the way to the end, which I don't think anyone's watching now, but if you did, thanks so much for watching. Let us repeat the YouTube mantra. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, feel free to comment. You know, what are you looking forward to the Mandalorian season 2? What about, are you looking forward to Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity? I think it looks pretty cool. I'm excited for Mandalorian season 2. What else? Is there something else you would, if there's anything you would like me to talk about on this show, feel free to comment about it. I may or may not get to it. No promises. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.